In January 2017, the Magic Kingdom's Hall of Presidents will be temporarily closed to add a new animatronic figure, President-elect Donald Trump. But before we get to that, let's dig into the history of the Hall of Presidents and one of Walt Disney's most often overlooked contributions to the entertainment industry, audio animatronics. On a trip to New Orleans, Walt Disney discovered what would end up being the basis of his vision for audio animatronics, a wind-up mechanical bird that moved along to a song. Walt was awestruck and took the toy back with him to Imagineer and animator Waffle Rogers. Rogers dissected the machine, discovered how it worked, and used that knowledge to explore what Walt truly wanted, a mechanically animated human figure. Led by Walt Disney himself, the animatronics team shot reference footage of actor Buddy Ebsen performing a tap dance in order to examine human behavior in detail. Using this information, the team was able to animate a 9-inch tall figure to dance in front of a miniature stage. That figure was Walt Disney's first ever animatronic. This advancement led to the creation of the Enchanted Tiki Room at Disneyland. This still operating attraction opened in 1963 and features over 150 audio animatronic birds and flowers dancing to and singing a song written and performed by the Sherman Brothers, who also wrote a number of other Disney classics. The Enchanted Tiki Room wowed audiences, but it was missing one major element that Walt himself wanted: life-size human figures. Walt decided to revisit one of his old attraction concepts from Edison Square, a cancelled expansion of Main Street. You can learn more about Edison Square by watching my episode on the history of the Carousel of Progress. This attraction was to be called One Nation Under God, and it would have consisted of wax figures of all of the then 34 US presidents. Walt felt that animatronics would be a better fit for this attraction and started with one of his heroes, Abraham Lincoln.
Ever since I was a small boy in Illinois, I've had a great personal admiration for Abraham Lincoln.
While working on the Abraham Lincoln animatronic, Walt met with New York World's Fair organizer Robert Moses in the Imagineering studio. During this visit, Robert Moses was awestruck by the early version of the Lincoln animatronic. It was decided then that Lincoln would become his own attraction. Great moments with Mr. Lincoln at the 1964 New York World's Fair. The attraction was sponsored by Lincoln's home state of Illinois, and it was an instant hit. It centered around the president reciting some of his famous speeches, performed by actor Royale Dano.
And in that faith, let us to the end dare to do our duty as we understand it.
After its run at the World's Fair, the attraction opened at Disneyland on July 18, 1965, and was one of the few attractions at Disneyland that did not require a ride ticket to enjoy. After Walt Disney's death in 1966, the Imagineers planning Walt Disney World felt that it wasn't necessary to recreate a version of Disneyland's New Orleans Square due to Florida's close proximity to the real city. Instead, Disney's old designs for Edison Square were brought back to life and used as inspiration for what would become Liberty Square at the Magic Kingdom. The Imagineers also felt that Liberty Square would be the perfect host to Walt Disney's One Nation Under God concept and created the Hall of Presidents. The Hall of Presidents opened with the Walt Disney World Resort on October 1st, 1971. The attraction consists of a brief film covering some US history, and then each president is called by name and stands up and acknowledges the audience. Originally, Abraham Lincoln would deliver a speech and the show would close with a song. The Hall of Presidents opened with 36 presidents, the roll call ending with Richard Nixon. The attraction has since been updated with each new president as they took office, although the first to actually provide audio for the attraction was Bill Clinton. Since then, George W. Bush and Barack Obama have done the same.
The American dream is as old as our founding, but as timeless as our hopes. It is reborn every day in the heart of every child who wakes up in a land of limitless possibilities.
Of all of the audio animatronic figures in the Hall of Presidents, 3 are unique. Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and Barack Obama are all A100 model audio animatronics and are among the most advanced Disney has ever built. When Barack Obama took office in 2008, he was given the A100 figure that used to belong to George W. Bush, a process that will likely happen again once Donald Trump takes office. And that brings us to today. President-elect Donald Trump will be the 8th new addition to the Hall of Presidents since the opening of the attraction. The show will close on January 17, 2017, and will reopen on June 30th with its new addition. So, what do you think? Do you enjoy the Hall of Presidents? What about great moments with Mr. Lincoln? We haven't even scratched the surface of the history of audio animatronics. Would you like another episode dedicated to just that? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for new episodes of Disney Declassified.